Thank you guys so much for being here, Dree, Jorma, Michelle, and congrats on LA Times.
Thank you.
The movie is premiering tonight.
Yes.
How are you guys feeling?
Excited.
I'm pumped.
Phenomenal.
Great. This couldn't be going better. So the subject matter is super interesting to me. We're sort of confronting this myth of coupledom and what, the modern married life really looks like. So tell me about why you wrote and directed the film, why you decided to tackle that subject.
Can I just say one thing real quick? I've been happily married for 10 years. I've been in a relationship for 18 years, so I don't think that it's a myth. I think you can be very happy, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be married to my wife, Maria Alloway. Thanks, honey, I love you.
She's very talented.
Did you just give away the end of the film? So the answer is that the myth is...
But they're not married.
We are not married, but you
Go ahead, yeah.
You talk about the question.
Yeah. Wait, no, I'm curious what you're going to say. Finish your thought.
What, if it ends up happily for us at the end of the film, you gotta check it out in theaters. January
No, you were
2000
telling you were giving us a little slice
of our relationship.
Yeah, your life.
Yeah, we're happily married. We have a kid now. He's 2 years old. He's adorable.
He's very cute.
Yeah. Yes. I don't want to spoil it, but we're gonna stay together.
Great. Awesome.
Okay, what inspired
this is
me?
about your relationship. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
what
go
inspired me? I'd been wanting to make a feature for a while, and I grew up really loving Woody Allen and Albert Brooks, and then Noah Baumbach and Whit Stillman and Wes Anderson, and so I wanted to make a really sort of contained, observant adult comedy. And of course you draw from the people and the experiences that you know. And so that sort of served as the inspiration, more or less, for the story. I came to it, I think, firstly from the characters and thinking of what if they were in this situation, that situation, and then the story just sort of naturally evolves from there.
Mm-hmm. So in the story, you play Annette and Elliot and Baker, which is such a great name. I don't know where you found that name. I'm like,
thank you.
It's great. So tell me a little bit about your relationship and sort of where we start the film off and the struggles that you're having in the marriage and how your character sort of comes in and says you shouldn't be comparing yourself to others.
Well, I think that at the start of the movie, I'm like 85% happy in my relationship, and I'm not.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I actually 85% satisfaction in your relationship, I think, is extraordinarily high.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, but what's the highest approval rating that the president has ever had? The best president.
The best president?
Yeah, I'm saying I don't even.
Abe probably was actually pretty contentious, right?
Yeah,
so I would imagine,
I'm saying
it's
that
probably just the first
okay,
one.
the most
People
popular.
were like, we're doing a nation
I'm
thing.
talking about the most popular president. What's the highest approval rating?
I think it was probably George Washington, and I bet he was still at probably low 90s.
That's what I'm saying. No, I don't even think you get into the 90s with approval ratings for presidents. I think that the other day they were saying Obama was at 55, and that was great. Yeah. And I was like, well, what's bad?
Because politics and relationships are
well, first of all, the reason you're at 85% though in the relationship is because Elliot's a great guy.
He has so many wonderful attributes and is overall a great person. The character is based on my boyfriend that I've been with for a really long time, who is an amazing person.
Which was a little nerve-wracking to play because Jared was on set occasionally.
He was.
No way.
I would wear his clothes occasionally. I wore his shoes.
They have the same.
You
literally filled his pant size.
Yeah, I literally filled his shoes.
Oh, Dree.
I know. I'm fine. I feel left out over here. You guys are.
I know.
Great.
Well, you could have sat in the middle, but this is.
It's better when I'm.
Dree,
we'll
I
talk
think
about
you're
Dree
great.
in a second. You're awesome.
I'm getting a taste of the dynamic that will be in the film already, just in this moment.
It's a
lot of this. Although the three of us are actually we're on screen twice in the entire movie.
Yeah.
We're only in 2 scenes together. At the very first scene of the movie and the very last scene is the three of us.
Those are fun days, though, right?
Yeah, those are fun days.
Yeah.
I feel like that is, I don't know, I think right now especially it's everybody is trying to market themselves, whether it's their relationship, whether it's their business, whether it's just, their image with their social media. It's so annoying, but I fall prey to it.
Quiet, please. Rolling. Thank you downstairs.
These are great mics. Don't even worry.
Okay.
I
know, but it's
he
fun.
Just likes
He's
to
got a
yell
huge
it.
dick.
He just likes to do it. He's a jerk.
He's good at it.
You just gotta let him. He's a man.
So tell me a little bit about your character's relationship with Baker in it, and did you know Bree previously? Why did you choose to cast her? It sounds like this is a female sort of comedy about like female relationships as well.
Yes. I mean, I think that me and Dree have like, you know, a romance almost of our own. And Dree is based on my best friend. And yeah, it's interesting. Me and my best friend have been together for almost 20 years, and we have this interesting relationship that has evolved in the years since I came up with the idea to do this. But, you know, there's almost kind of like a mother-daughter thing there, where Dree is looking for guidance and she's looking for approval, and I like to dispense advice and criticisms. And so we fit. And so that's the basis of the relationship. And what I think is kind of interesting with the arc of our relationship in the film is, you know, it starts out like I seem like I'm pretty tough and I have all my shit together, and she's a little bit more vulnerable. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She really wants love. And by the end of the film, I find you to be like very empowered. You've like tested the waters. You're honest about who you are. You're giving things another try. And I have some fuck ups in over the course of the film, and I lie about them, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's pretend none of that ever happened. And yeah.
That's everything she just said was great.
Yeah. Well, I feel like too, exploring these sort of questions around like how we now all market ourselves and like.
Sorry, we're not.
No problem.
I ruined your business card.
No problem. I feel like exploring these subjects and these questions around coupledom and how we market ourselves and expectations that we put on ourselves is such an LA struggle.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me about setting the film in LA and why you chose to use that as a backdrop, sort of a third or fourth character, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, it actually was always intended as another character. I'm born and raised in LA, and I think that I wanted to make a film that sort of had the essence of, you know, those early Woody Allen films like Husbands and Wives and Manhattan, and I loved the way that he married this sort of dramatic, elegant filmmaking and cinematography and sound with these kind of absurd comedic situations. And I felt as though we definitely haven't seen that set in Los Angeles, and certainly not in a while. And so yeah, it felt like a logical choice in terms of scope and like how I could do it. It was feasible for me.
To piggyback on what Michelle was just saying, because this is the first time that we're kind of trying, or I've heard it articulated of like what the film is, what some of the reasons for doing it, and some of the inspiration behind it. Like you're just expounding upon it, and it's a really interesting point because in reading it for me, you capturing that elegance, and I think you really did with how beautifully it's shot, but also just the fact that there's a lot of one takes and that there's a simplicity to it. Is I was saying to you this when we were first meeting about it. It's like that I don't often like films about our generation because I feel like our generation's fairly shitty.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And this is exploring some of the minutiae and the small little things that you find irritating about your generation, but with this sort of sarcastic bent and like a perspective, and it's that elegance that makes it okay, like and really funny to me and observant. And I just think that you put it really, really well. I was like, why? Like, because reading the script was so funny to me, and it was the reason that both of us, I think, were just immediately on board and wanting to be a part of this and excited to be a part of this, and everyone, I would say, involved, all of the cast. But it is that. It's like, and I think it's a difficult needle to thread, too, of like a subject matter that I often would find irritating. I find a lot of films about our generation
it's
irritating.
vintage. It kind of gives it a vintage quality, so it's not just like obnoxious of like, this is us now in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I find those films very irritating as well, and so I felt like if I'm going to make a small film about characters that are like me and my friends, it's got to be completely different.
Because there is an odd love for it as well. It's not like we don't all go to the places that are called like Salt and Butter and whatever the name of the new hippest restaurant is, and it's not like I don't enjoy a signature cocktail. And it's not like I don't have a beard, but
Donkey and Kong.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You want to start a restaurant? but there's this love, but it's subverting it the whole time. And
Well, I feel like LA too. I mean, I lived there for a while. I live in New York now, but there's something magical about the landscape as well. So, shooting there, can you tell me about sort of the visual language, and if maybe there's a visual shot that you feel like sticks in your mind that maybe resonates emotionally throughout the film?
In some ways, I think shooting in New York is much easier than shooting in LA.
Really? I would disagree
Really?
with that. Where are you going to put the trucks?
But I'm
There's
saying,
got to be a guy, and then Tony's got to show up. Oh, sorry, I
also,
can't do that.
you can't like use people's apartments and houses in New York. Like
that is true. You can use houses
Los
here.
Angeles.
That is true. Okay, so I take that back.
She just doesn't know.
Spatially wise.
She's not from New York.
I'm not from New York. I'm from here. So, but I
New York.
have worked on things that have shot in New York. So I've been there, and it always seemed like the people were just like happier about the production being there, and there wasn't as much strife. Like, I feel like in LA, everyone's like, oh God, they see like the big white truck coming, and they're like, ah.
I feel we just shot in LA, and people we would interview heads of departments, and they'd be like, so where are you guys shooting? And we'd be like, oh, it's in LA. And they're like, the whole production's in LA?
Well,
it's not
they're
Atlanta,
happy
it's not
because
New
they don't
Orleans,
want to
it's not
leave. Yeah, they're happy.
It's now
because
it's
they get to stay
exciting
there.
to actually
It's
shoot.
good for routine.
But besides the technical side of it, which I will talk to you guys about all day long because I moved cities for this series.
Yeah.
But tell me about sort of like visual moments that you wanted to capture.
Where I live in a very historic neighborhood in Hollywood, and it was really inspiring to me, like just driving around and walking around and just feeling that old energy. There's not a lot of places in Los Angeles that have that feeling, and I really was inspired to try and capture it. So we did shoot primarily around the older parts of Hollywood, and I also feel like that's a side of Los Angeles that you don't often see in these kinds of movies. Usually around here it's more east side, and we go to the east side, but sort of in a way that, is like me, like a bit like laughing at going to the east side, because my character doesn't really want to go to the east side, even though in real life I do like going to the east side. But we try to have fun.
How far east?
Yeah, like what's east side?
What's
to you?
east side for you?
Is it like past? You're not talking about past even
Close to
Colorado.
Eli.
You're talking about like going to little
She
Dom's.
goes- yeah.
No, what are you talking about? I can go to Silver Lake. I mean, my boyfriend also used to live downtown, so I can go all the way
Yeah,
downtown.
but I'm saying so what is east side to you? Is it anything past your house, basically? East
Well, it's hard for me to start going to like the real like urban sprawl areas like Highland Park and places like that. They're just too far for me.
So this movie is definitely set in Hollywood, and that
Yes.
sort of adds to this, like you're saying, vintage vibe on a very modern story, which
Sure.
sounds amazing. And congratulations, guys! Thank you.
You should come and check it out.
Oh,
It's
I'll
great,
be
and
there.
the
I'm coming
cinematography
tonight
is
and to the
Are you
party.
coming tonight?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my gosh, Meredith, that is so exciting.
Yeah, of course.
I'm so happy you're going to be
So
there.
thank you guys so much. It was so great to talk
Thank
to
you.
you. Congratulations.
I hope that this was an okay second interview
Yeah, it was
today.
great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.